This is your initiation. This is a decoding of the Philosopher's Stone and an understanding of how to manipulate its power. So this chart has 72 names of God. Each of those 72 names of God are made up of 3 Hebrew letters. I believe those letters stand for notes. So a chord, and that chord, that sound frequency, is what brings our material form into existence. And it does so through multiple spheres. The psyche, the demos, and the somos were the flesh, the divine, right? And then the soul. This is these spheres of influences. So after the divine names, we have the divine orders of angels. After that, the zodiacs. This is true alchemy. Now, I believe that each one of these divine qualities, this alchemy map overlays here on the tree of life that we find in the Kabbalah. When we start to decode these symbols and we realize that they stand for gods, planets, and an element in a metal in alchemy, you see the 3 spheres of existence that each one of these things materializes in. And by knowing the alchemical states that we have to go through, transgress, and the influences of those powers by these planetary spheres. So it's 3 spheres that have influences with the other spheres. So the idea of a lock and a key being the alignment of these different spheres of influence with the triangle. Now we're seeing the sphere and the triangle from the Philosopher's Stone, aligning that with finally the 4 pillars, right? And the pillars representing the 3-fold path, and this sacred geometry begins to materialize. See, and I believe that it's represented in the keys of the piano. We start seeing this same ratio that we see in the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence. This idea of this bridging from a 2-to-1 to a 2-to-3. So from an equilateral to an isosceles, or an uneven, right? A harmonic to a disharmonic, or a major to a minor. This is the act of creation. It goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor chord, the major lift. Now, when you decode these different letters of Hebrew, right, they actually are represented on the tree of life in these different pathways, right? These different pathways from these different divine essences and states. When you find out that each of these letters actually has to do with both the breath and the opposite of that, which is the glottal stop or the consonant, as well as electrically static and electrically magnetic forces. So is it conductive, or does it repulse an electric force? The idea here is that these forces are all represented. The symbology gives us a map for how we can move through life, move through energetic states by going within. That's the VITROL acronym. The Philosopher's Stone is within. Now, this Aleph, the Ayer Asha Eye, is my favorite part, because the Aleph was the mark that went on all the golems' heads to bring them to life. Because it is the combination of the 4, the 3, and then the 3 again, 4, 3, 4, that is the key to all of creation.